Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and gives this video a thumbs up. Kim Kardashian has reached a breaking point with Kanye West. She is now concerned about the safety of her children. She is going to have to put her foot down and decide whether he will ever be able to see their children again. Kim has had to pick up North early from visits with her father owing to his disrespectful behavior. This is hardly surprising to anyone. Continue watching to learn more about this predicament. Kanye West isn't the finest father in terms of keeping his daughter safe. Kim has had to pick up North early after visits with her father on a few occasions. In March, Kim was forced to seek emergency custody of her and Kanye's children. This occurred after Kim discovered that North was featured in a song with both her father and Sean Diddy Combs. This was clearly not a safe person for North to be around. However, she had to pick her North early from a visit after discovering she was hanging out with Andrew and Tristan Tate, who are today accused of human trafficking. Kanye's unpredictable behavior has produced severe problems. Kim is frightened to let him take the kids out of her sight because she fears he will not return them. She does not trust him. Kanye's furious outbursts are making her nervous, and she is terrified of what he will do next. Kim is willing to do all it takes to keep her children safe, regardless of the cost. Kim seemed to be uncomfortable with Kanye being around their children. She will do everything in her power to keep her children away from their father. This is not a matter of spite. It's because this is the only way she can guarantee her children's safety at all times. Kanye West has a history of mental health concerns. However, he is now rejecting the issues. What are your thoughts about this? Do you agree with Kim? Comment below. We'd love to hear your comments on the situation. The sun was barely rising over Hidden Hills when Kim Kardashian sat in her kitchen, her hands trembling around a lukewarm cup of coffee. The silence of the sprawling estate was deceiving. Behind the serene surface, her world was on the verge of implosion. She had never imagined she would be here, at a crossroads where love, fear, and protection blurred into one painful decision. Kanye West, the father of her children, the man she had once trusted with her life, had become the center of a storm she could no longer shield her family from. It had begun subtly, as most shifts in a relationship do. Kanye had always been unpredictable, his genius and his volatility walking hand in hand. Kim had learned, during their marriage, to navigate his emotional highs and lows. She had loved him fiercely, and for a while, that love had been enough. But motherhood had changed her. North's small hand clutching hers, Saint's innocent questions, Chicago's laughter, and Saul's sleepy yawns, these were now her life's purpose. And nothing, absolutely nothing, would threaten their safety. The final straw wasn't one singular event, it was a series of warnings she could no longer ignore. It began months ago, when she received a call from her security team during one of Kanye's scheduled visits with North. They had picked up signs of distress in her daughter's voice during a FaceTime call. North had mentioned a weird guy her dad brought over, someone who laughed loudly and talked about girls who get sold online. The name didn't mean much at first, Andrew Tate, but a quick search had Kim's blood running cold. She tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps he didn't know. Perhaps it was a misunderstanding. But as the weeks progressed, more disturbing incidents began to pile up. One night, North came home humming a tune Kim didn't recognize. "Dad said it's our song," North had chirped. It was only later, while scrolling through social media, that Kim stumbled upon a leaked audio snippet Kanye rapping alongside Sean Diddy Combs, with North's young voice harmonizing in the background. March was a blur of legal documents and whispered phone calls behind closed doors. Her mother, Kris Jenner, stood by her like a rock, firm, guiding, ready to make hard decisions when Kim's heart threatened to betray her resolve. Seeking emergency custody wasn't a public statement, it was an act of survival. Kim didn't hate Kanye. She mourned the man he had once been. The creative powerhouse, the devoted husband, the doting father who used to read bedtime stories and invent silly dances in the living room. But something had changed. His public outbursts, cryptic social media tirades, and growing association with controversial figures made her question his grip on reality. And now, as a mother, that question was no longer abstract. It was urgent. A particularly jarring moment came during what was supposed to be a supervised weekend visit. North was supposed to spend time at Kanye's ranch in Wyoming, with full-time security in place. Kim had reluctantly agreed, trying to preserve some semblance of a father-daughter bond. But halfway through Saturday, she received a call from the head of her security detail. North had been introduced to Tristan Tate, Andrew's brother, despite explicit instructions from Kim's legal team to avoid any contact with these individuals. When she landed, North was already waiting at the airport, clinging to her nanny with a confused, scared look in her eyes. Kim swept her into her arms, blinking back tears. That night, she didn't sleep. She lay in bed beside North, watching her daughter breathe, her heart heavy with fear and guilt. That was the root of the problem, unpredictability. It was like living with a ticking time bomb, never knowing what would trigger the next explosion. She remembered the time he had gone on a Twitter rant at 2 a.m., accusing her of trying to lock him up, comparing her family to the movie Get Out. Then there was the disastrous presidential run, the unfiltered speeches, the tears at a public rally when he revealed personal information about their daughter's conception. And yet, despite everything, Kim wrestled with guilt. She didn't want to strip her children of a father. She wasn't vindictive. She wasn't trying to punish him. She simply wanted peace. Stability. Safety. Her lawyers advised her to file for full custody with supervised visits only, until Kanye could demonstrate improved behavior and undergo psychological evaluation. He refused, of course. He called it an attack, a betrayal. He lashed out in the media, posted cryptic threats online, and even showed up unannounced at the children's school one afternoon, causing a scene that ended with school officials increasing security protocols. He has threatened to fight her in court for full custody, a move that has shocked both fans and legal experts. Given his documented instability, few believe such a battle would end in his favor, but Kanye appears undeterred. To complicate matters further, Kanye has surrounded himself with individuals Kim considers dangerous influences. From controversial artists to divisive internet personalities, his circle has raised eyebrows. Kim has flagged several of these associations in her court filings, noting that some of them have criminal backgrounds or pending charges that could jeopardize the safety of her children. She has stated plainly, "My kids don't belong in that environment." Public opinion has been mixed, with some fans siding with Kanye, accusing Kim of using the children as leverage. Others, however, are vocally supportive of her protective stance. Thanks for watching. If you likes this video, do not forget to subscribe my channel and do not miss any update.